Hi everyone! Today I'm going to tell you 10 tips to read more. The first tip is to put away any distractions. I know this might sound a little bit obvious, but I think everyone finds it difficult sometimes to put away their phone or laptop. Just try to surround yourself with books instead of noisy people. Try to find a quiet place to sit and try to put your phone on mute for a while. Tip 2. Read shorter books. I always find big books a little bit intimidating and scary because I have the feeling I could read so many smaller books within the same time as one big book. So if you're like me, and if you're a little bit scared of big books, just try to read a short book. Tip 3. Try to read a little every morning or every evening. I used to do this a lot when I was younger. I always read a little in the evenings because that was the only moment I could truly focus on my book. However, these days I don't really read in the evening anymore because simply I just fall asleep. But I know that it works for many people to just wake up and read a little or fall asleep with a book. So just try it out and see if it is for you. Tip 4. Choose a book with a pretty cover. Normally I would say don't judge a book by its cover. But I must confess that if I don't like the cover of a book, I'm more reluctant to pick it up, even though it could become my favorite book in the world. So, if you don't have much motivation in the first place, it's easier to pick up a book with a pretty cover, and it could be something that motivates you. Tip 5. DNF books if you don't like them. I know that it might be a little bit more difficult for people who don't have many books to choose from. But if you don't really like a book, then why would you continue reading it if you don't really enjoy it? I would say just I would say just quit the book that you're not enjoying and just start a new one because reading should be something that you enjoy. Tip 6. Ask yourself why you want to read more. Is it for knowledge or is it for fun? Just try to figure out why you want to read more books and maybe you can find back a little bit of that motivation. Tip 7. Take part in challenges. This might not be for everyone, but I know that many people get motivation out of challenges. And it's not really my thing because often I don't like the challenges that I find online. But there are so many reading challenges to find that I'm sure you can find one that is for you. And if you don't like the reading challenges that you find online, I suggest just create your own challenge or ask your friends to create a challenge that could motivate you. Tip 8. Always bring a book with you. If you're reading a really chunky book, it might not be really handy, but I think most books have an okay size to bring along. And I really love these covers that my mom made for me because this way I can bring my books with me anywhere I go. And I can just read on the bus or on the train. And if it's a bit noisy, I just put on an audiobook. Or if you're not that much into physical books, you can just read an ebook on your phone because that's really easy to bring along with you anywhere you go. Tip 9. Listen to audiobooks while you're doing something else. I discovered audiobooks about 1 year ago and I really love them so much because whenever I'm tidying up my room or doing the dishes, I just put on some headphones, I listen to my audiobook, and I'm just 2 chapters further into the book. And it's really nice to make some progress with your reading. So if you are always kind of busy with all the things you have to do in life, then I recommend audiobooks because they're really easy to listen to and you have many narrators to choose from and many books as well. I use the application Scribed myself. I really like this app because they have so many books and you can listen to as many as you want. They also have ebooks, by the way. So yeah, be sure to check it out. Tip 10. Listen to audiobooks while reading along with the physical book. This is a trick that I often use myself because my attention span is quite low, and listening to the audiobook while actually reading along really helps to make some progress. You can also often change the tempo you want to listen in. So I know with scribes you can change the tempo to 1.2, 1.5, 1.8, up until 3, I think. I think the fastest speed I listened to was probably 2. But it also really depends on the narrator and on the book. But it's also nice that you often can see how many hours in the book you have left. And this often motivates me as well. If I see that I only have to, well, read or listen to the book for 2 more hours, then I'm like, okay, I think I can finish this today. So if you're like me and if you have a pretty low attention span, just try listening to the audiobook while reading along and just see if it is for you. I hope these tips were somehow helpful for you. And especially now that many people are sitting at home, they might want to rediscover books, or you might want to give your Goodreads goal a little boost. So thank you so much for watching, and I wish you a wonderful day with a lot of sunshine and books. Mata ne!